How you doing? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great, man. It's always good to get a win, learn off of a win, and the body's a little banged up, the legs are a little banged up, but again, the win takes all that pain away.
I was going to ask you about the legs. It seemed like the calf kick was a bit of a tactic for you tonight. Is that something you knew going in, or you just saw the opening? Where did the calf kick come from?
Yeah, it's something I knew going in. I thought Max actually did a great job of avoiding it. He's usually pretty heavy on that lead leg, and that was definitely part of the game plan to attack that calf kick. And early on, I felt that he was doing a great job of avoiding it. I did get a few good ones in there, and he got a good one on me as well that I have a little bit of a hematoma on my leg, but definitely part of the game plan.
Got a big cut on the nose. Is it a break or is it just a cut?
No, it's just a cut. And honestly, I don't remember that happening. I don't remember what he hit me with. But I got to the back and the doctor was like, man, that's pretty gnarly. And I was like, really? And he showed me a picture. I was like, yeah, that is pretty gnarly. So I certainly didn't feel it in the fight, and I don't remember it.
Cool. He did miss weight by 4.5 pounds. Was there ever a chance this fight wasn't going to happen, or were you just going to take it no matter what?
No, I remember Coach called me and said, hey, you in your room? I'm like, yeah. He comes up. He's like, we got a problem. I'm like, at first thing I thought that somebody failed to COVID. And he was like, your opponent missed weight. And I looked at the clock. I was like, dude, it's 10 after 9. I was like, you got an hour and 50 minutes to miss weight. He's like, he's 210.5 and said his body shut down. I was like, well, we're taking a percent of that purse, and the fight's going on. It was never a question in my mind, but it did make me think a little bit that it made me wonder how big Max was, because I know he's fought the majority of his career at heavyweight. A lot of these light heavyweights are pretty big, and if he stopped right there, it made me think that he was going to be pretty big coming in, and I did think he was going to try to use his size to bully me around, get me up against the cage, maybe get me down, which he did try to do a little bit. I thought he did a good job of avoiding that, but yeah, the fight, there was never a doubt in my mind. He missed weight. I was like, we're taking a purse. The fight's still going on.
It's funny you say that, right? Because when a guy misses weight by a decent amount, but he still weighs in early, your mind kind of goes two ways, right? Well, did his body break down and he just couldn't do anymore, or is he just kind of giving up 20% because he knows he has an advantage? Did you go for the second one? You kind of leaning that way?
Yeah, when I looked at the clock, it was 9:10. I'm like, dude, he's got an hour. He's got plenty of time to make weight. In my mind, I instantly thought he's getting a little soft at his old age. And, no offense to Max. Everybody calls me the old guy, too, at 32, almost 33. But I was like, that's just it threw me off a little bit. I didn't expect that from him, but it just told me a little bit of where his mindset was. And then as the fight was going on, I just kept telling myself, he's slowing down. He's slowing down. He missed weight. Just keep going. Keep going.
Last one for me. It's a bit of a cliche, but close fight. You go to the judge's decision. Were you confident? Were you a bit nervous? How were you feeling when we went to scorecards?
I was pretty confident. I knew that I didn't have my best performance. Again, I was a little bit worried about his size. I thought that he was really going to try to put the pressure on me, use his frame to keep me up against the cage, try to get me down, hold me down, which had me holding back a little bit, being a little hesitant. But at the same time, I felt like I applied enough pressure. I got him with a nice hook in the second round that slowed him down, and I thought those kicks added up as well. So I was pretty confident in the decision.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
I could be wrong, but I think it was a jab. I think it was a strong jab that he caught you with. Speaking of that, how were those jabs coming at you? He looked like he had some decent power behind him, because you were doing a good job of controlling with the leg kicks. But it seemed like when there was the points that you were trying to come in, he was able to kind of land those jabs a couple times to kind of keep you distance.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's got long arms. He's got a big frame. And he was throwing heat on those punches. I thought I did a pretty good job of rolling with him and avoiding him. He did hit me with a couple, but I was never rocked. I'd sit here and tell you even that right hand when he hit me and I kind of backed up, I just lost my balance. I was trying to stay up, and then I went against the cage, and that's when he hopped on my back, and I was like, okay, this isn't good. He had that rear naked choke. I was keeping my chin down, and I got him over top and got out, so I was happy about that.
There was a couple points, I think even the commentary said at one point, I think it was maybe in the third round, where you had him up against the cage and you were kind of controlling a little bit, and I think that was one of the points where they thought you were doing a decent job with the leg kicks as well as getting striking. Was there a point, at that point, did you feel that he had diminished some, that you could easily control him against the cage, and that's why you didn't maybe choose to kind of separate and maybe keep the striking?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought I could feel him kind of slowing down a little bit, and again, the weight kept playing in my mind. I kept thinking, this guy's, if I can just go one more second than him, I'm going to get this. And that's what I kept telling myself. I kept him on the cage, and I kept landing a few rights, that I kept popping him in the nose, and I felt him. So I was like, hell, man, if we're just going to chill here, I'll stay here, as long as I keep applying the pressure. And I was really I kept thinking elbow. I was waiting to get my position and then throw a hard elbow, but he was doing a great job of controlling my arms. And, he's a veteran fighter. That's a big win for me. And it's another notch under the belt with a very experienced guy. And again, that's what, if you look at my resume and my career with Glory Kickboxing, those are the type of guys that I fought. So I'm just pleased with the victory.
And you've kind of laid it out, but if we could just maybe sort of get it in one point, what was the game plan coming in for him? Looked like to try to establish the leg kicks and control the distance, but can you kind of tell us what the game plan for him was coming in?
Yeah, the game plan was definitely to establish the low kicks, control the distance. That's what threw me off was, again, I thought he's usually really heavy on that and really stand up. But again, it keeps going back to the weight cut. When he missed weight, I really thought that he was going to just try to use his big frame to keep me up against the cage, try to get me down, try to be a bully in there. And that's why I was a little hesitant on committing. I didn't pull my right hand like I really thought I was going to. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I'm always pleased to get the victory, and him avoiding that late kick early on kind of threw a wrench in things as well.
And then after this, how long of a break do you I like the red sandals, by the way. I think that's new for this week, but I keep noticing the red sandals. I'm a little jealous of them.
Yeah, they are new, man. I was in the back warming up. I'm like, dang, these red sandals look sharp with the black shorts and the red.
With that being said, so what's the immediate step? Do you take a little bit of time off? Are you getting right back into the cage? And what sort of things, goals are you setting for yourself in 2021? Is there an amount of fights that you're trying to get? Are there certain names that are on the wish list? What's the next steps?
I don't really have any names in mind. I was really expecting to get a finish here. And I know Max is not a guy that gets finished. He's only been finished once or twice in his career, in a very long, extensive career, but I was expecting to get the finish. I did not. I'm going to let the legs heal up a little bit. I got a nice hematoma from one of the I can't remember if it was him throwing the calf kick, or I know I got him with a nice head kick with my left leg that I thought I could see in his eye, kind of rattled him a little bit. So I don't remember what that's from, but just let the legs heal up. I do have big plans for 2021. I want to just keep the momentum going. That's 3 in a row here at the Apex. So starting to feel really comfortable in there, and we'll just see what's next.
We've been talking to a lot of people about the effect of having fans in the crowd, whether the fighters actually like it like this, or whether they like it with the crowd. Where do you sort of stand in that?
I'm getting used to it like this. I don't mind it. The Contender Series was a little bit different, and then that second fight, I loved it. This fight, not bothered me at all, but I heard they're talking about putting 1,000 fans in here at some point pretty soon, and heck, man, I'll sound like the roof's blowing off if they get that many people in a small area like that. So, of course, I love the fans. They bring a lot of energy. They bring a lot of excitement, and that's what you do it for. You do it to get the crowd going. So I'm looking forward to the fans coming back.
Congrats on the victory.
Thank you, man.
Dustin, you mentioned the hematoma. It's pretty gnarly. It looks like about a baseball on your left shin. You don't remember exactly when you got that?
I think it was, maybe a combination of the two, but he did have a pretty nice calf kick on me. And then I did throw a head kick with my left leg, and I felt it right on the same spot. So I can't remember which. It was probably him throwing the calf kick, but either way, it is a good, nice size hematoma, and I do feel it.
Did it affect the fight at all? Did you ever think that it was going to hinder you at any point?
No, it's one of those things when you're in there in the heat of battle, man, your adrenaline's pumping. You don't feel it during. I could have kept fighting 2 more rounds, and not felt it. But as soon as we started walking out, I certainly felt it.
So do you see yourself being able to get right back in, or are you going to have to heal up for a little bit?
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think I'll keep icing it. I think the swelling will go down. It's nothing major. It's nothing that's permanent. So once I just let that rest a couple weeks, and then we'll see what's up. I plan on, it's February, March, April, maybe sometime in May, getting right back at it. And it'd be cool to, win 3, 4, 5 fights this year, depending on how things go and how they play out.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.